So after driving in this 2022 Infiniti QX60 for over 700 miles, we went from North Carolina now into Michigan. Got another 100 miles to go, but we're going to talk about Infiniti as a brand. Is this a luxury brand worth checking out? Alright, so we are continuing our journey from North Carolina to Michigan, and like I said, we're in the 2022 Infiniti QX60. So we'll change the drive mode back into normal drive and of course back into eco mode. So what we've noticed with this SUV, I think it has quite a lot to offer in it. So then, is Infiniti a brand you should look at? So I haven't really been too exposed to the brand. However, a few months ago, we took a brand new 2022 Nissan Pathfinder on the same exact trip. And if you're unfamiliar with the brand, Nissan and Infiniti are kind of the same company. This is based off of the same thing you're going to find in that Nissan Pathfinder. And we were really impressed. It was a very smooth SUV to drive. It really was a nice place to be. That one was around $51,000. This SUV is $60,000. It is pretty much fully loaded. We have the massive, it's like a 12-inch screen. We have the digital gauge cluster, heated ventilated seats, radar cruise control, pretty much every option you can need, panoramic roof, and it is a 3-row SUV. Now this comes with the 9-speed automatic. You get a V6 engine with around 290 horsepower, 270 torque. So when you look at this package all for $60,000, you then want to look around and say, okay, what are the other competitors? And basically, if you look at the tiers of luxury brands, you have the Germans, which honestly, I think the Germans are the best. And I think they really do take the performance to a whole new level, giving you a performance-focused luxury vehicle. That's a really cool aspect. Then you have kind of this level. You know, this, Infiniti, Lexus, Acura, those are all kind of owned by normal companies, Honda, Toyota, and Nissan. And then you have Cadillac, which is General Motors. Those are kind of all the main luxury brands. The German ones, of course, Mercedes, Audi, BMW. And from driving in this, we've been in it for 10 hours today. Comparing this to the Nissan Pathfinder, there's a $9,000 price difference. We did notice this is actually a nicer vehicle. I wasn't really expecting that. I figured this one is going to drive exactly the same since we have the same engine, the same transmission. I mean, it's the same platform underneath, but the suspension in this Infiniti is actually a little bit softer. It's a little bit smoother. We're on a pretty bad road and it's actually really comfortable and quiet. So we've liked the added luxuries you're gonna get with the Infiniti version. It's $9,000 more, so it better be nicer. It better be more than just, you know, a little bit more elegant interior and more elegant styling. And we found that it is a better ride. So really nice to see that aspect. So then when we talk about the German brands, so I think the biggest competitor with this, at least when you look at the layout, specifically comparing the QX60 to an Audi, the Audi Q7, that is a direct competitor with this as far as the layout and the sizing. The Q7, the base car with just the convenience package, is $60,000. So if you can buy this is the fully loaded QX60, you can absolutely go buy a base model Q7 with just the one package to where they're pretty much on par with the options you're gonna get. Biggest difference is that Audi, the base model Q7, you're gonna get a 4-cylinder turbo engine and it's gonna make 20 to 30 less horsepower and torque. Now this isn't crazy fast. This isn't twin turbocharged or anything like that. It's not supercharged. It's good enough. It has enough power to get up to speed. You're not gonna drive this and feel like you're in something sluggish. It can tow a pretty good amount of weight. So this is as slow as I would ever want it. If this was any more sluggish, I wouldn't want it. But I think this V6 is perfect to where 99% of buyers, they're gonna be perfectly fine in this. In the Audi, you're now at the same price point, pretty similar options. You might be missing a few actually compared to what the Infiniti gives you, but now you have the 4-cylinder with less power and less torque. And from what I think, I feel like the people buying a base model European brand, I think they're really buying that just to have the brand name. I can totally see that. I mean, personally, I am an Audi fan. I'm a German car fan, and I would want a Q7 if I'm buying a 3-row, but I would want an SQ7. So I'm looking at $90,000, V8 engine, crazy power. So I think it's almost like if you're going to be actually buying the European luxury brand SUVs and cars, I think you should really be going towards the ones that they want to make, which are the performance brands. The Europeans, they have so much performance. Racing is all in their blood. And when you look at all those European brand cars, the big engines, the Mercedes, the AMG cars, Audi's S-Line and RS line cars, BMW M cars, those are the real ones to get. When you're getting a base model European luxury brand, now you're kind of left with a generic car that just has the brand name associated to it. And to me, I don't think that's enough to really justify the price, because you're just getting those 4 rings on the front bumper, that BMW logo. You're just getting the brand name. However, you're missing quite a few options to just get the brand name. And I think the buyers of the base model European brands, I think that's where a car like this is really going to shine, because now you're spending the same money, 60 grand for this or 60 grand for the basic Q7, but now you're getting the full ventilated seats, genuine leather, the panoramic roof. You have really large screens with built-in navigation in here. You have every single option you could really imagine. And what I've noticed is this doesn't drive any worse. I wasn't expecting this to drive nicer than the Pathfinder, like I said, but in this Infiniti, it's been super comfortable. Both Lauren and I drove the Pathfinder, obviously up and back, and now we're in this going up and back. And it's nice to where it's a refined car. It's quiet, it's comfortable, we have the technology. And I've been in enough of the German brands to know that a basic Q7, a basic Mercedes, I think the GLE, they're pretty much gonna drive just like this. I don't think you're gonna drive them back to back and think that one of them, hey, that's like got blacked out stickers. And that's the same as what we're in. I wonder if that's a new version of the QX60. I don't think you're gonna drive a basic Q7 and then hop into this and think this isn't as nice and luxurious. Now, if you're gonna go in the SQ7 for $30,000 or $40,000 more than this, yes, you're gonna notice a big difference in refinement, performance, every single thing, but you're also paying for it. That's why that car is gonna be nearly 6 figures, and that's why this is 60 grand. But it's the base model European brands that make you kind of take a step back and think, well, if it's the same price, what am I really getting with the Audi, the BMW, the Mercedes? Maybe look into a brand like this. I've never really had the Infiniti on my radar for future, family luxury SUVs, because I haven't really experienced one. But now after driving it, I can totally see the buyer for this. Me personally, again, being such a performance-focused person, as much as it's a lot more money to get into an SQ7, that's what I would want just because of the crazy power. I want 500 horsepower taking my future kids to soccer practice. I genuinely want that. I want to rip it when it's just me in the car. That's stuff that I really enjoy having in a car. And to me, I'll spend a crazy amount of money just to get extra power. But I think, again, it's the buyers who are going to get the basic ones who don't need the performance. They just want a nice luxury car. I think this is a better option, actually, than the Q7. Looking at them on Audi's website, same exact price. Again, I think it's just the name brand you're getting. And I think it's a cool opportunity for companies like Nissan, even Toyota, Honda, and be able to offer you a really nice luxury car that competes right with any European car, but now you're getting underneath a normal car. And I think long term, since the people buying those base model European cars probably aren't really too into performance and into cars, long-term reliability and maintenance is going to be a lot easier on a car like this. Like I said, this is the Pathfinder underneath, the engine, the drivetrain, the brakes, suspension, the mechanical objects that are going to wear out in the next decade of your ownership. These are just Nissan parts where it's going to be easy to maintain, affordable to maintain. It's not going to break the bank. The European cars, you kind of need to really commit to them. If you're going to have a used one or one long term, a decade old, you need to commit to the fact that you're still maintaining a pricey premium brand car. So then after experiencing this car, I feel like there is certainly a really large group of people who would value a luxury car like this, because you're getting underneath a normal brand to where it's easy to afford, easy to maintain long term. But then you're getting all the refinements, luxuries, technology, the elegance in the styling and the use of materials as those luxury brands are going to offer you. However, you're not paying the premium for it. You're basically getting a really good deal on a fully loaded luxury car for the same price as the base model of the European cars. And I think, a lot of people are going to want that, to where you get a really good segment. So if you are going to go for the European brands, don't bother with the base models, because now you're getting just a basic little 4-cylinder, not too many capabilities. You're going to be missing options just to have that name. And I think that's where Infiniti comes into play, to where you can really get a lot for the money. And I've been impressed with this. It's been a cool trip so far. We have 51 miles to go in our all-day road trip, so it hasn't been too crazy of a trip. It actually has been a breeze. And honestly, in the Pathfinder, when we did the same exact trip, it didn't feel like a long trip. It didn't wear us out. We do get massaging seats on this, which is a cool touch. But it's a car that we've been able to drive in and not get tired, not get fatigued. And I think that's a big selling point when you're looking at the luxury cars. They're comfortable and easy vehicles to drive, even long distance. And I think Infiniti seems to be really stepping it up. I've been very impressed with the new Nissan products. Infiniti being based off of the same thing, then taking their own luxury spin on it. I'm impressed with what I'm finding so far in Infiniti. So with that said, that about wraps up the video. Basically, the new Infiniti, I think they are coming a long way. And like I said, if you're going to be going towards one of those European brands, which might cost the same as this, you're going to be getting the base model with not too many options and more of a sluggish engine and powertrain. If you're going to go European, you got to go all the way. Just get the big boy power plants. Get the ones that are really fun to drive. If you're not into the performance and you just want normal power, this is still quicker than the normal Q7, so we do have more horsepower and torque. Get one of these if you're just interested in luxury style, the practicality, and kind of everything associated with a luxury brand aside from the extra above and beyond performance. I think this is something worth looking at. So with that said, that is it for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I will see you guys in the next video.